Hey there farmers, hope you're all doing well. As you can see, we've just finished working the land. I used the Vibro-Cultivator, which is the second tool I use to prepare the soil after the rotary tiller. I'll explain some theory, then we'll test this tool in the field. For over 10 years, I've shared advice on agriculture and gardening. Together, we support each other as a community. That's why I'm asking you to subscribe to the channel, give it a nice like, and sometimes comment on the videos so you too can become part of this community. Agriculture is done together, so subscribe to the channel, give it a nice like, and let's get back to our video. The land needs to be worked, it needs to be tilled while trying to respect it as much as possible. Because if you see, I have clay, so under the soil after a year it stays like this. See, I could make terracotta with it. So we used the rotary tiller, but the one we have is undersized. It was made for my old tractor, which was much smaller. For this tractor, which is a bit bigger, it's not the right size. But guys, we don't have the money, so we have to make do with what we have. I like the rotary tiller because it loosens the soil pretty deep, about 10 inches. But it doesn't create a hard pan, which other tools like the plow do. So we worked the soil around December, then we left it alone, letting it break down and get worked by the cold and the water. In this season, so we're at the beginning of March, you need to use the Vibro-Cultivator. What is the Vibro-Cultivator? This is the Vibro-Cultivator. It's the tool I got for myself last year. And to the Vibro-Cultivator, which is this tool, I attached a roller. Now I'll explain a bit better why it's called a Vibro-Cultivator, because it has these tines that vibrate. You see the movement they make. They're real springs. So when they're in the soil, they bounce. In contact with the soil, they don't get stuck, so it's not rigid. Like a harrow could be, or it could be a subsoiler. Even though the harrow actually has springs, it can have springs. So the Vibro-Cultivator, what's the purpose of this tool? What is it? It's to go and make the soil churn, to move it, to prevent it from compacting, because what's the risk? The top layer heats up, the top layer dries out, but underneath there's a whole pocket of water and moisture that then gets compacted. So these soils need to be loosened. We leave it like this for about 15 days, then we'll work it with a rotary harrow, with a tiller, and then we'll start cultivating it. Another interesting aspect, if you see, a whole series of weeds were growing. What did we do with this method? We went and lifted them up. I'll show you. Look here, look, this weed, you see, it stayed lifted. Now, in contact with the first warm days, this weed here gets burned, so we prepare our soil, the plants. Now, I've explained the theory to you. Let's go to the field. Let's see the practice. Now, let's go test it, because last time I only had the Vibro-Cultivator, so the front part. I also got the roller, which is this one, a roller with spikes, clod breaker, so that it breaks up the clods a bit more and makes it nice and smooth. I'll show you the whole process, everything that happened, also because I had to learn slowly. Now, before using the Vibro-Cultivator, I already did it. It was already fertilized. I recommend fertilizing your land. I made a dedicated video about fertilization. I suggest you use Solabiol Orth. Gardens with the natural booster formula are the best solution. I've been using it for years, basically in every granule. We have a range of nutrients, totally natural and organic, that nourish the plants. I recommend that during this period you still mix it, even with a bit of pelleted manure. The full video is in the description, along with Solabiol, Orth, Giardini, and Natural Booster. This one comes in a 5 kilo version and also a 1 kilo one if you need less. My personal advice is to get at least the 5 kilo one, since you'll need it throughout the year. And you'll need to fertilize 3 times. Make sure to fertilize and then work the soil so that the fertilizer stays underneath. This really gives incredible results. Let's get back to the field then, shall we? We're using this tool called a Vibro-Cultivator with a clod-breaking roller on the back. You haven't seen the roller yet because it arrived last year when I had already done the work. What are we going to do? Where we have soil with the presence of weeds, you see, we use the roller to turn them over as much as possible. By doing this, the weeds stay underneath, so we don't have to weed. Now, we're going to move at a pretty good pace, so you need to keep an eye on me. One thing you'll notice is that where these hooks, these anchors are present, you'll actually see the soil bubbling. And that's the point. The soil really needs to bubble up. We'll see it better in the field, since you need a certain speed for this effect. Let's try it, though the space is tight, but we'll manage. I'm taking off my jacket because it's getting hot. The first thing we do here is we've harvested the Brussels sprouts. So I lower it slightly without touching the soil, and we do this action. Look, so we place it down, we should be good, and off we go, Papete. Let's fly. I'm just really happy because I can't get it to go down the way I want. Now let's set it up differently. Let's see if I can do it. Here it kept the roller up because I wanted to go down a little more. It's not bad, it's not bad, it's not bad, it's not bad. This way we also bury all the crop residues that are here, since we're not going to sow here anytime soon, so things can break down without any problems. We return to the earth what is hers. A warm welcome to Grazie. 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 I handled it well here. If you can't do it in one try, you can do it in two. It's the first time I'm using it with the roller. With the roller, the weight and size change a bit, we'll see. Now I'm going over the bigger parts again with the roller. Thank you. You notice the difference after the second pass, right? It might be hard to tell on my phone, but look, the groove is bigger here and smaller there. Come closer to see it better. Here, I've gone over it. Look at the soil, you can see it. Here, I haven't gone over it yet. The groove is bigger, the groove is bigger. Now, to be honest, it's a bit wet, huh? That's why I was stumbling sometimes, but let's go over it again, at least to loosen it up a bit, and then if needed, we'll do another pass. But when we do the next pass, you'll see it's already crumbly. Honestly, I could almost do without using a rotary harrow because it's already broken up. If we use this tool, you can keep it moving. In the meantime, we're burying weeds. These ones you see here, right? This one dies, see? And we don't have to use herbicides, okay? The soil is like women. If you want it to love you, you have to treat it well, you have to caress it, you have to take care of it. Remember, just like with women. All right, let's go pick up these pipes and sheets so we can remove them and get to work, one at a time. The soil is unique, but this season it's done for this crop. Also because I had to remove the whole system here in the middle so that I can pass through in one go with the tractor. It's a bit easier. Let's go pick them up. The only hassle with the tarps is pulling them up by hand, which is the annoying part. But hey, we have to do some hard work in the field. They tell me go to the gym. Yeah, I go, but this is more than a gym. It's a gym for life. Generally, I can't get on top of it because I don't have enough time for everything to disappear. And if the croissant remains, when I do the transplants, it's a bit more complicated. So if the stem is in this condition, you see it's rotten, I can manage, even if the root remains with those. Generally, I prefer to pull it up also because later if you want to pull up the tarp, like in these cases, it's a whole mess. It's a hassle. Instead, like this, you take it, you detach it in a sneaky way. See, you don't tear the tarp. And don't tear it really because otherwise you'll look bad. You pull it up. Look how many snails there are. It's the little flower, a snail here. See, we should give them some product. I can pull it up without tearing so I don't spread plastic or waste time breaking it. You put in effort up front and save time later. That's always how it goes. So you saw too that I'm also learning how to set it up, how to use it, how to work with it. For sure, among you there are farmers who are much more experienced and use it. If you could kindly give me some advice on how to best set up the tractor. And my Vibro-Cultivator, thank you very much. One thing I noticed is that this step was really useful for me because with the rotary tiller I had made some ridges. Here the Vibro-Cultivator leveled everything well, but more than the Vibro-Cultivator itself, it was the action of the roller that made the difference. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let me know if you enjoy these more live videos. So, while we use the equipment to prepare our fields, we can share together how to do gardening and farming. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye, everyone.